Ben 10, even though I never really sat down to watch full episodes growing up, because you could not escape it in the 2000s. The show had a ton of merchandise, toys, backpacks, video games, everything. Even if you never watched it, you probably still understood the basic premise. A kid finds a mysterious alien device that lets him transform into different aliens. It's a fantastic concept for a kid's show, and honestly, one of those ideas that almost feels designed to sell toys. Secret of the Omnitrix is essentially the show's big TV movie event, and watching it as someone who isn't familiar with the series is kind of an interesting experience. The movie doesn't really stop to explain the world or the characters. It just drops you right in the middle of the series and assumes you already know who everyone is. Ben has the Omnitrix, he travels around with his cousin Gwen and his grandpa Max, and villains are constantly trying to get the device. That's basically the amount of context that you're given. Luckily, the premise is simple enough that you can follow along anyway. The story begins when Ben accidentally activates the self-destruct sequence on the Omnitrix during a fight. Instead of just malfunctioning, the device starts counting down toward an explosion powerful enough to destroy the entire universe. So yeah, pretty high stakes for a kid's cartoon. The only person who might be able to stop it is Azimuth, the alien genius who originally created the Omnitrix. The problem is that nobody actually knows where he is, so Ben, Gwen, and Grandpa Max head off on a galaxy-spanning journey trying to find him before the Omnitrix detonates. Naturally, this attracts the attention of Vilgax, one of the show's main villains, and a massive alien warlord who spent years trying to obtain the Omnitrix. Once he realizes the device is unstable, he hunts Ben across the galaxy, hoping to finally claim it for himself. The movie begins a chase across multiple alien worlds as Ben struggles to keep the Omnitrix under control while Vilgax gets closer and closer. Eventually, they track down Azimuth, who turns out to be a small, grumpy alien living in isolation. He originally created the Omnitrix as a tool to help different alien species understand each other, not as a weapon. Seeing how it's been used makes him regret ever building it. The climax leads to a massive battle with Vilgax, and this is where the movie actually surprised me. During the fight, Gwen sacrifices herself to save Ben, seemingly dying in the process. The movie actually lets this moment sit for a while instead of immediately undoing it. Ben is devastated and believes it's his fault, which gives me a real sense of survivor's guilt. For a Cartoon Network show from the mid-2000s, that's honestly pretty heavy storytelling. A lot of animated TV movies would have reversed the moment almost immediately, but here the characters genuinely mourn for a while before they reveal that Gwen actually survived, because come on, it's a kid's show, they're not going to kill off a child. Even though it ends up being a fake-out death, the emotional impact still lands because the characters believe she was gone. That moment is honestly one of the things that impressed me about the movie. There are actual stakes of character development, which is more than I can say for a lot of the TV movies I've reviewed this month. The only other Cartoon Network show I've personally seen that goes to that kind of emotional territory is Clone Wars, which obviously had some pretty dark moments. Another thing I really liked was the alien designs and world building. The aliens Ben transforms into feel creative and distinct, and the different planets they visit make the universe feel bigger than just the Earth-based adventures you expect from a typical kids show. Watching it actually reminded me a bit of some of the Disney shows I watched growing up, like Lilo and Stitch or Buzz Lightyear. It has that same kind of adventurous sci-fi energy with lots of weird alien creatures and imaginative action scenes. The villains definitely have that classic Saturday morning cartoon style, though. They talk exactly the way cartoon villains used to talk. Dramatic threats, promises that we'll meet again, I'll get you next time, like Skeletor, right? Or Cobra Commander. And a lot of over-the-top evil speeches. It's cheesy, but it's also kind of fun. At the end of the day, Secret of the Omnitrix still feels more like a long episode than a full movie. It was clearly designed as a TV event rather than something built for theaters. But the interesting thing is, this concept actually could support a theatrical movie. The world is interesting, the aliens are creative, and the story ideas are strong enough that you could easily imagine a bigger budget version of this playing in theaters. If the rest of the show is as cool and imaginative as what's in this movie, it's definitely something I'd like to go back and watch properly someday when I have the time. For me, it gets a B, an 8 out of 10, and 4 out of 5 stars.